Space Marines fighting aliens. Canceled on a cliffhanger. A genius who can become anyone. 4 seasons, then nothing. Earth's colonists traveling to a new world. Never arrived. Today, we're counting down 10 sci-fi TV shows from the 90s that were incredible, then vanished. The series that defined the X-Files era, then disappeared like they'd been erased from existence.
Talk to me. Tell me what you want.
Millennium, 1996 to 1999. Chris Carter created the X-Files and became the king of Fox's sci-fi lineup. Then, he made Millennium, a dark psychological thriller about FBI profiler Frank Black, who can see into killers' minds. Lance Henriksen gave one of the best performances in 90s television, and Fox killed it after 3 increasingly desperate seasons. Season 1 was brilliantly dark. Frank investigated serial killers while dealing with the mysterious Millennium Group. Season 2 embraced conspiracy and supernatural elements, becoming the show's creative peak. Then Fox panicked about declining ratings and forced massive changes for Season 3. New characters, lighter tone, everything that worked got stripped away. Fox moved Millennium around the schedule constantly. Friday nights, different time slots, 0 promotional support. Ratings dropped because audiences couldn't find it. The show ended abruptly with the apocalypse literally happening and Frank's story unresolved. An X-Files crossover episode tried to give closure years later, but couldn't fix what cancellation destroyed. Millennium was too dark for mainstream 90s audiences. The violence was graphic. The themes explored evil and madness unflinchingly. Lance Henriksen deserved Emmy recognition he never received. The show vanished and took one of television's best performances with it. The Outer Limits, 1995 to 2002. Showtime revived the 1960s anthology classic for 7 seasons and 154 episodes. It was consistently excellent, predicting technological dangers with disturbing accuracy, and somehow it feels completely vanished from cultural memory, despite running longer than most shows on this list. The revival maintained the original's focus on science fiction, horror, and moral questions. Each episode told a standalone story about cloning, AI, virtual reality, alien contact, and humanity's darkest impulses. The quality remained high throughout 7 seasons. Guest stars included future A-listers in early roles. The writing explored ideas other shows wouldn't touch, but anthology shows don't create fandoms. No continuing characters means no shipping, no theories, no water cooler conversations. The Outer Limits aired, entertained, educated, and vanished week after week without building cultural momentum. When it ended after 7 seasons, almost nobody noticed. The show actually succeeded by most measures. 7 seasons is a hit, but it feels vanished because anthology format prevents the passionate following that keeps shows alive in memory. The Outer Limits deserves recognition as one of the smartest sci-fi shows of the 90s. Instead, it's forgotten while lesser shows get nostalgic worship. Total Recall 2070, 1999. A Canadian production that mixed Total Recall and Blade Runner with Philip K. Dick concepts. 22 episodes exploring identity, memory, and what makes us human in a cyberpunk future. Almost nobody in America saw it because Showtime barely promoted it and gave it minimal airing. The show followed a detective partnered with an android investigating crimes in a corporate-controlled dystopia. The cases explored Dick's favorite themes: false memories, artificial humans, reality versus simulation, corporate fascism. The production design captured cyberpunk aesthetic on television budget. The stories were genuinely thoughtful science fiction, but Total Recall 2070 aired in a graveyard slot with 0 marketing. Canadian audiences saw it. American sci-fi fans mostly missed it entirely. 1 season, done, vanished. The show ended without resolution to its larger conspiracy storylines. Years later, Sci-Fi completists discovered it and wondered why nobody told them it existed. Total Recall 2070 deserved the audience Blade Runner 2049 eventually found. It explored similar themes weekly on fraction of the budget with genuine intelligence and ambition. The show vanished because Showtime didn't believe in it enough to promote it properly. Dark Skies, 1996 to 1997. An alien conspiracy show set in the 1960s that wove fictional characters into real historical events. 1 season, 19 episodes, NBC's Saturday night graveyard slot, and a massive mythology planned for years that never got told. Bryce Zabel created an ambitious series where aliens called the Hive secretly invaded Earth during the 60s. The protagonist discovered the conspiracy and tried to stop it while encountering JFK, the Beatles, and major historical moments. Each season would advance through a different decade, building to present-day revelation. NBC buried it on Saturday nights where shows die. The budget was slashed. Mid-season. Ratings were decent considering the death slot, but NBC wanted X-Files numbers or nothing. The show ended on a cliffhanger with the alien invasion accelerating and our heroes still fighting. None of Zabel's planned mythology got explored. Dark Skies was overshadowed by The X-Files despite being genuinely different. The historical setting made it unique. The Hive were terrifying alien parasites that controlled humans from within. The show deserved 3 seasons minimum to tell its story. NBC gave it 19 episodes and forgot it existed. The cult following that discovered it years later still mourns what could have been. Hush. The Pretender, 1996 to 2000. Gerard was a genius raised in a secret facility called the Center, where they exploited his ability to become anyone. Doctor, lawyer, pilot, whatever. He escaped. Every week he helped people while Miss Parker and her team hunted him. 4 seasons on NBC. Consistent ratings. Still canceled. The Pretender had everything. Compelling premise, excellent cast, mysteries that kept viewers hooked. Gerard's search for his identity and family. The Center's sinister experiments. Miss Parker's conflicted feelings hunting someone she might have feelings for. The show balanced procedural episodes with serialized mythology perfectly. NBC canceled it anyway after 4 seasons despite loyal fan base. 2 TV movies tried to finish the story and raised more questions than they answered. The full mythology never got revealed. Gerard and Miss Parker's relationship never resolved. The Center's secrets stayed secret. Fans are still angry 20 years later. The Pretender succeeded where many shows failed. 4 quality seasons with consistent storytelling. But it vanished because NBC wanted bigger ratings and didn't value the audience it had. The show deserved proper ending. Instead, it got abrupt cancellation and half-hearted TV movies that couldn't provide real closure. Now and Again, 1999 to 2000. A man dies. The government takes his brain and transplants it into a genetically engineered perfect body. He becomes a super soldier, but can't contact his wife and daughter who think he's dead. CBS gave it the Friday night death slot. 1 season, 22 excellent episodes, then canceled on a cliffhanger kiss. Eric Close played Michael Wiseman trapped in someone else's body, working for the government while watching his family from distance. Dennis Haysbert was his handler. The show balanced action with genuine emotion about identity and family. The premise could have sustained 5 seasons exploring what makes us who we are. CBS showed zero faith in Now and Again, despite quality and decent Friday ratings. The final episode ended with Michael finally revealing himself to his wife after a season of longing. They kiss, credits roll. CBS canceled it. That cliffhanger has tortured fans for 25 years. The show was smart, funny, emotional, and completely wasted on Friday nights where CBS dumped programming to die. now and again deserved the success person of interest eventually found with similar themes. Instead, it vanished, forgotten by everyone except the small audience that loved it and still mourns its loss. Sliders, 1995 to 2000. 4 people invent a portal to parallel Earths. They jump between dimensions trying to find home. Fox gave it 3 brilliant seasons. Then Sci-Fi Channel bought it, fired most of the cast, and destroyed everything that worked. 5 seasons total. The first 3 still hold up. The last 2 are unwatchable. Original Sliders was smart science fiction exploring parallel worlds with different histories. What if Soviets won Cold War? What if women ruled society? What if technology advanced differently? Jerry O'Connell, John Rhys-Davies, Sabrina Lloyd, and Cleavant Derricks had perfect chemistry. The show balanced big ideas with character drama. Then, Fox canceled it. Sci-Fi Channel revived it, but immediately started replacing cast members. Rhys-Davies left. Lloyd was fired. O'Connell quit when it became clear Sci-Fi wanted cheap action over smart sci-fi. The final season with mostly new cast was generic dimension hopping with zero creativity or heart. Sliders ended without the original travelers ever getting home. The show that started with 4 friends desperately trying to find their Earth concluded with completely different characters nobody cared about. The first 3 seasons remain excellent sci-fi television. The fact that seasons 4 and 5 exist is tragedy that destroyed the show's legacy. Earth 2, 1994 to 1995. A dying girl needs to reach a distant planet with healing properties. Her mother organizes a colonization mission. They crash land far from their destination. The journey to New Pacifica becomes the show. Crossing an alien world, encountering mysteries, discovering the planet has plans for them. NBC aired Earth 2 on Sunday nights as prestigious sci-fi event television. The production shot on location in New Mexico with cinematic scope. The cast included Deborah Ferrantino, Clancy Brown, and Tim Curry. The world building was rich with indigenous alien species, government conspiracies, and terraforming corporations. Everything was in place for multiple seasons. But the show moved slowly. Serialized storytelling was rare in 1994. Viewers expected episodic adventures. Earth 2 told one long story about the journey with mysteries unfolding gradually. NBC lost patience. 22 episodes and done. The colonists never reached New Pacifica. The mysteries stayed mysteries. The story ended mid-journey. Earth 2 was ahead of its time with serialization that modern audiences would embrace. The world was fascinating. The characters were complex. The science fiction concepts were ambitious. NBC canceled it just as the mythology was getting interesting. The cliffhanger still frustrates fans who wanted to see the destination they were promised. Seaquest DSV, 1993 to 1996. Steven Spielberg executive produced underwater Star Trek with Roy Scheider commanding a submarine in the near future. NBC gave it 3 seasons and systematically destroyed everything that worked. Season 1 was serious science fiction. Season 2 got lighter. Season 3 went full nonsense with time travel and aliens. Scheider quit in disgust. The first season was excellent, exploring ocean politics, environmental themes, and realistic near-future technology. The submarine was a scientific vessel as much as military. The stories had weight. The cast was solid with Scheider bringing gravitas. NBC wanted more action and less talking. Season 2 forced tone shift toward adventure. Original showrunner left. Cast members were fired and replaced. Season 3 became unrecognizable disaster, where Seaquest traveled to alien planet. Nothing made sense anymore. Scheider publicly complained and left before the end. NBC canceled it finally after destroying any quality or consistency. Seaquest DSV had potential to be great science fiction about ocean colonization and environmental future. NBC interference turned it into incoherent mess that changed everything, constantly chasing ratings. The show vanished as cautionary tale about network executives ruining their own programming. Season 1 shows what could have been. Seasons 2 and 3 show what network panic produces. Space, Above and Beyond, 1995 to 1996. The X-Files creators made military science fiction about Marine pilots fighting alien invasion in space. Fox gave it 1 season, 23 episodes of dark, serious sci-fi that treated war realistically. Then Fox canceled it on a massive cliffhanger, with Earth still losing the war and every storyline unresolved. Space, Above and Beyond wasn't optimistic Star Trek future. This was brutal combat in space with Marines dying, PTSD, and questioning orders. The enemy aliens were mysterious and terrifying. The human military was morally complex. Characters you loved died suddenly. The tone was Band of Brothers meets Battlestar Galactica a decade early. The effects were expensive. The stories demanded patience. Fox expected bigger ratings and pulled the plug after 1 season despite decent numbers. The finale set up massive second season with Earth making desperate counterattack. Then cancellation. Nothing resolved. The war continued without us seeing it. Space, Above and Beyond influenced Battlestar Galactica's reboot. Ron Moore admitted watching it during development. The show proved you could do serious military sci-fi on television if networks gave you time. Fox didn't. The cult following has demanded revival for 28 years. Space, Above and Beyond deserved 3 seasons minimum. It got 1 season and a cliffhanger that still haunts fans who remember when Fox made great sci-fi, then killed it immediately. Which 90s show, Are You Still Angry, got canceled? Which cliffhanger still keeps you up at night wondering what happened next? Drop your answer in the comments below. Hit subscribe for more lost television history and shows that deserved better. And smash that like button if you're still mad about any of these cancellations decades later. Thanks for watching.